I'll stay out here, Jim.
Logan, we saw through the first 3 games of the series, just them able to extend at bats, and for your part, seemed like you were really able to just kind of like fight through that, even with a couple 7 and 8 pitch at bats they had early. Just what were you seeing out there, and what kind of worked for you today?
I was able to just get ahead of a lot of guys, and then I felt like I was pounding the zone, especially in those 1-1 counts, to get me in that advantage count. They're putting good swings on the ball, like fouling it off, but I don't know. I just didn't really want to like cave in, which is always what I aim for. But yeah, I felt like me and Cal were on the same page a lot today, and I felt like we executed that plan, and that's why we were able to get in 5 quality innings.
And even though you're not directly competing against him, what is it like going up against Jacob deGrom as a starting pitcher?
It's cool. I've noticed it both times that we've faced them, or I've faced them. I've pitched against deGrom, and it's a special opportunity, obviously, getting to pitch against one of the greats. It's pretty cool. I was watching him warm up right next to me, right where we were warming up, and I was like, all right, this is a divisional game. Let's do it. So it was cool.
Logan, you talk about it being a divisional game. I mean, I don't know if you ever anticipated this coming into the season, but to be with this team on this stretch where they're obviously trying to get back to the postseason, does that bring anything else out of you, or do you just try to approach it, the same way you've always approached the game?
I like to say that I think every game is the same, but I feel like I love to take on the big moments. Coming into the season, I was hoping that I was able to pitch in these games and go about those games like I would. And I felt like today was definitely one of those games where I was like, all right, this is a pivotal moment for our season. Obviously, we either take the series, which we did, or we tie it up and then just keep going. So it was cool being able to throw in this game.
How do you balance not getting too far out of yourself with thinking about that opportunity while also letting it kind of hone or sharpen you? Because it really felt this whole series like these two teams were just throwing haymakers against each other.
Yeah, I definitely feel like sometimes you can get ahead of yourself and think about a result, but I felt like that was the thing today is I was focused on each individual pitch. Some went my way, some didn't, but I was able to rebound from whatever happened and just move to the next pitch.
We've talked to a couple of the other starters these past couple of days, but with the new look lineup after the deadline, what's it like as a pitcher when you're coming out and it seems like every inning somebody just hit another 2-run home run?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling knowing that this lineup is that deep, and I don't know the strategy on the other teams wanting to go homer for homer with our lineup because it probably doesn't work well for them, but it's pretty cool having that deep of a lineup for sure.
We saw Julio reach a milestone, 100 career homers, 4 straight 2020 seasons. I guess defensively and offensively, what is it like being his teammate out there?
Just like it is for a fan, amazing. I mean, shout out to him, obviously a great accomplishment, and that's my guy. He's super cool on the field and also off the field, and I'm just super happy for him, and I know all the work he puts in to do that. So it was pretty cool watching that live today. So.
Were you arguing to go back out there for a 6th inning? Because it really felt, you started off not exactly hitting all the first pitch strikes, and then it sort of felt like the command locked in as you went along.
Yeah, I never really liked to fight the manager, to be honest with you. So no, I was, like I've said in the past, I'm trusting Dan in all of his decisions. But yeah, like you said, I did feel like I was getting in that rhythm. I was just able to get through 5 there, and then he said that he wanted to bring in Vargy, so I was like, all right, cool. Like I did my job for the day. So yeah, I don't ever fight Dan on those.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Logan.
What a ball game. That's a great way to end that series. A great series win. In a 4-game series, winning those 3 is big, especially against, a team that's kind of right below you. And it was a really, really great effort again today. Guys able to bounce back after a tough loss yesterday. And we talk about that a lot. But A couple of, I think today was kind of full of little things. Yeah, we had homers. I think we drove the ball out of the ballpark against, one of the league's best pitchers, and that's impressive. But you can't discount the two walks before a couple of the home runs there to get to make it a 2-run homer versus a solo shot. Outstanding work there on those at bats. Some of the defense that we saw late in the game, especially from Cole. That's a great pick from JP's throw, and Cal with a great throw. Mooney holding him close. Every little thing kind of adds up in that inning, and those guys were able to execute it all really, really well. The bullpen today, first of all, Logan Evans giving us 5 innings. That's what we needed, and getting us a chance to win that game. Turning it over to the bullpen, Vargy coming out for 2 innings was absolutely huge. Especially after throwing yesterday, and being able to come and do that today was awesome. And then Fergie, who's been leaned on a lot since he came here, but he has thrown the ball so well and given us that inning. And then Mooney doing his thing in the 9th. So again, up and down, offensively, defensively, on the mound. A great day, a great win, a great series win.
Start with Julio to get a guy like that. 100 career home runs already this early in his career. What does that say about him?
Yeah, he's putting together another, spectacular season, and for that to drive that ball out to right field like that is just really good hitting, and we see him continuing to use right field, and then pick up a single to left field as well, hit that ball hard. Just really swinging the bat well, and his accomplishments at a very young age are pretty impressive, and congratulations to Julio on that milestone, and what he has done defensively out there for us in center field has been incredible. Another couple of really nice catches today, one right at the wall that was a very tough chance, and he just continues to roll, and it's been nothing but outstanding from Julio.
People have talked about his summers and sort of the splits there. What do you see out of him to get just progressively hotter pretty much as the year goes on?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we saw today is when he's using the whole field, and even the time he flew out the first time up, using right field, drove that ball to right field, and then that ball to right center was just really driven, and then able to pull it too when he needs to, and I think just him being able to stay middle of the field like that, hit the ball on the line. It comes off his bat 110 plus every time, and when you can hit the ball on the line like that, you're going to have a lot of good results, and that's when he's going good, and that's what we've seen.
You mentioned the defensive plays. I know first base isn't really considered a premium defensive position, but that last inning, just Naylor's reaction after that throw from Cal, even though it didn't get the out, just what have you seen from the way he approaches defense and what he's done out there in the field?
Yeah, Nails is a complete player. He plays this game hard. He plays it serious, and he wants to win, and all those guys in there want to win. And I thought Nails earlier in the game, that pop up down the right field line, the throw to third base to keep Garcia at second. I thought that was an outstanding play. As just he came up throwing. It was a quick release, got a good strong throw off, and Garcia had to shut it down, keeping him at second base. It's those little things that Naylor does. He does that so well, and what we've seen at first base has been awesome. And almost getting Haggerty there on the back pick. That could have turned out to be a huge play. He's always on the spot and ready to go, and he plays this game hard.
That 9th inning really split evenly between before J.P. Crawford went out and talked to Mooney, and then after. It seemed like everything flipped. What did you see both out of a guy like J.P. to have that leadership, but then also Mooney to be able to reset like that?
Yeah, he's a leader. He is definitely a leader, and that's just an example of why. He sees those moments, he feels those moments, and he's able to go out there and refocus. Mooney in that situation. Awesome job. That's what team leaders do, and that's a huge trip to the mound for us right there to kind of turn things around, and again, making that backhand play. Being able to get the lead runner there on that play with Garcia, another huge clutch play in the 9th. So just all around JP, what he brings to this ball club, plus the 2-run homer today, like the walk-off the other night, like you just can't, you can't say enough about what he does for this ball club.
What have you seen in him kind of pulling himself himself out of where he was for the last week?
Yeah, I mean, he went through a little bit of a tough stretch, but really, even since Sacramento, I thought he was swinging the bat pretty well, hitting the ball hard, hitting the ball on the line. We saw him tonight again, hit the ball hard to left field, and nothing to show for it. Obviously the last couple of nights, being able to get the ball out of the ballpark has been huge for us. But he's at his best, as we said. Using left field. We saw it today. He barreled that ball up, but just sometimes you don't get a lot to show for it. But it's good to see him getting some results when he wasn't before.
You've had this lineup now for 4 days in this order with the new players and whatnot. What do you like about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous lineup, up and down, and when you have a couple of guys at the top that can run and create a little bit of a havoc, you've got the league's home run king right now, and RBI guy at the top as well to drive some guys in. You've got a lot at the top, and then at the bottom you've got guys that are putting up really good at bats, and they're drawing walks, and driving the ball in the gaps, and finding themselves on base, and letting that thing turn over to the top again. It's just it's a very balanced lineup, and it's a very dangerous lineup, and I think we haven't seen what it can really do yet, and it's coming. It's really close, and that's why I think this series, getting our feet on the ground and taking it into the next series is going to be big and get us some momentum.
Do you think that kind of taking JP out of that leadoff spot, dropping him a little bit for a while, does that take some of that pressure off, and does that help him?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes those things work, sometimes they don't. But he's done a really nice job no matter where we've put him in the lineup. And when he was at the leadoff spot, did such a great job getting on base. Now he's down at the bottom, but turning that lineup over, getting some really big hits, in opportune times. Today was no exception to that. The huge 2-run homer in that spot, gave us the ball game.
You guys have beat DeGrom twice this season, Skubal twice, Skeens. You go down the list of the amount of quality starting pitchers that you've beaten this season is really remarkable. What can you say about these guys in this game? Do they get extra motivated for games like this against?
No, I mean, I'm sure you could point to 1,000 physical things that these guys do really, really well. But it comes down to what's inside their heart. We talk about it a lot in there. And, they can fight with the best of them. And they've shown that time and time again. And that's why they're able to beat some of the league's best. And that's really what it boils down to.
We talked before about you guys having those stretches of 17 consecutive around the All-Star break. Today was the last game in that, and you're in a wild card spot now within 3 of Houston. Just what have you learned about the team during the stretches, and how impressed are you that they're able to really go through it successfully?
Yeah. I mean, we always learn just how hard they fight, and coming back today after a tough loss yesterday, that's big, and winning this series is big. These guys, they know how to show up, and they know how to show up with a lot of heart, like we've said. That's what we've seen, and that's what you need this time of year. They bring good energy to the ballpark every single day. They prepare themselves to win and to play hard. I think the results take care of themselves when you do those things, and that's what they've been doing, and that's what they continue to do. Again, it's all fairly new yet at this point. We've made some acquisitions. They've been tremendous acquisitions. We've got 4 games now under our belt with the new guys, and we're still getting to a place where we're starting to flow, and it's going to be a fun stretch.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Have a nice off day. You too. Congrats on the milestone. What are you feeling about reaching 100 career homers and 4 2020s?
I mean, it's awesome. For a kid of Loma de Cabrera, that's a very big accomplishment, and I know my family's very happy, and I'm sure they're thinking about all the things that we had to do to be able to get here, and be able to do it with this team and this organization is definitely awesome, and I'm just excited to see where things are going to go from here.
Just what does it feel, just the vibe with the team right now? Obviously, getting Gino back and bringing in Josh and Caleb and winning the first series where all of those guys are together with this team.
I mean, it's awesome. I feel like when you go from Randy leading off to all the way down to Cole Young at the bottom, I feel like it's a pretty dangerous team. I feel like we're full of a bunch of guys that they can compete, that can do a lot of damage, that can get on base. Very diverse team, and there's really not a hole in our lineup.
When you've got J.P. Crawford's last couple of days, another big homer today, what are you seeing out of him?
I mean, huge. I feel like he has come through so many times for us, and just to see him do it again, in the very big series, that against a division rival that we're really close in the division. I feel like just to be able to step up again for us is huge, and that's what we have always seen from him. And, it was awesome to just see him out there just banging balls.
Dan was talking a lot about your approach, and especially the past couple months. You get that home run off Jacob, it goes right center field. To have that all fields approach, how big is that to your game?
I mean, I feel like that's the type of hitter I am. I feel like there can be times where I go away from that, but in reality, that's the type of hitter I am. I'm a very good opposite field hitter, and I'm able to drive the ball out that way too. And I feel like when I commit that way, a lot of the whole field opens up for me.
Julio, Logan Evans was just here, and he was very complimentary of you as a teammate on and off the field. What have you seen from him when he's been up here with the big league club, and how he's battled for you guys?
I mean, very mature kid. I feel like we really we hang out a lot, honestly, off the field too. And being able to get a personal vibe off of him. Very mature, very focused and serious with his work. But every time he gets on the mound for us, he can definitely give us a chance. And what I learned from him is that he loved compete, loved to learn, and he definitely have embraced our vibe as a team, and he definitely have fit in perfectly for us too.
You had your 2020, Randy had his 2020. What did it mean to get to celebrate with him? And also, how has your relationship grown this year in his first full year here? And how do you two kind of lean on each other?
I mean, so much. I feel like so much. We have become really, really tight friends. This year especially, I knew him from before, even before he got traded here and all that. But I feel like this year, he's like a brother to me out there, and just like you said, we were after that hit the home run, he was also posing for me with 2-0 for 2020. It was really cool, and be able to me giving love to him and him giving it back, it's very special to have a teammate like that.
You talked about what the lineup does offensively, but on defense, just in that last inning alone, JP's throw to second, Cal catching Haggerty stealing, Josh almost getting that back pick, and then your catches throughout the game. Just defensively, what does it feel out there? Does it just feel like completely balanced like the lineup does?
The same thing. I feel like you cover it all. After the game, I was like, wow, what an inning, and just me able to watch the infield work, and it was awesome, I feel like we got it in lockdown back there, but it's a well-round team, defensively, offensively, and we can win games like that too. They could have put a runner in second, with less than 2 outs, but we were able to prevent that twice. And then Mooney with a big strikeout at the end, and that's what we were able to do also on the defensive end and win the ball game like that too.
Your own defense has been kind of on another level this season. Since hitting is so hard and it's up and down, is there a comfort to the consistency with which you play defense?
Yeah. I feel like that's something that I can control, that I can control more than hitting. And, every time that I'm out there in center field, I'm thinking of I gotta give the best I can, because that's a big part of the game. Just like we were talking about defense, and that's something I can control. And obviously, you can make mistakes, you can make a wrong throw, you can sometimes at some point drop a ball, whatever. But that's a more controllable area of the game, and I feel like I take a lot of pride in that and bringing that every single day. Because I know I can change the game for an out. I can get a guy out on the big contact that they get from all our pitchers. I can steal base hits away and extra base hits away, and I feel like that's something that I take a lot of pride, especially because I can help the pitchers a lot with that and the whole team.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see.
Enjoy your off day.
Thank you.